NewsNation Now on the breaking news of the day. You probably know by now that two Americans, a mother and daughter from just outside of Chicago, Judith and Natalie Renan, are the hostages that have been freed today by Hamas. There's another picture of them. NewsNation's now Natasha Zuves, immediately upon hearing this, made her way out to Evanston, Illinois, which is where they're from, to gather reaction. And Natasha now joins us live. Natasha, what's the latest?
Yeah, hi there, Connell. Prayers answered for one of so many families. We now know, as you said, that an American mother and daughter have been released by Hamas. And I just spoke a few minutes ago exclusively with the family's rabbi. He says the concern now is for their condition, especially given the fact that they were released for humanitarian reasons. Take a listen. Rabbi, what do you imagine that they've been through in these last couple of weeks?
I don't want to imagine, because I know that the people who are holding them, their captors, are not good people. And I am just thrilled to hear that they're out. At the same time, I am deeply concerned for the over 200 hostages that are still in the hands of Hamas terrorists.
Undoubtedly, and I know that this was a prayer answered for one family, for one community. It is undoubtedly the news that everyone wanted to hear. When you heard that they were released for humanitarian reasons, what went through your mind? Were there any lingering fears or concerns there about their condition?
We don't know what their condition is. We weren't notified. But humanitarian reasons doesn't sound great. So we are hoping that they're okay. And I'm sure that the American government will do all they can to make sure that both Judith and Natalie get the care that they need and be able to come back home to complete and full health.
And today, Hamas said it released two American citizens they've been holding captive in Gaza since their October 7th raid on Israel. The militant group saying in that statement from before that in an agreement with the Qatari government, it was freeing a mother and daughter for what you just heard, that reason, humanitarian reasons. Well, NewsNation has been following this story. This was a mother-daughter trip. Judith Renan and her 18-year-old daughter Natalie were visiting family in Israel. They're from Evanston, Illinois, that's outside of Chicago. And the two traveled near the Gaza border to celebrate a relative's 85th birthday and Jewish holidays when Hamas unleashed a brutal attack. And Connell, I know you've been tracking this. President Biden releasing a statement earlier saying that the release of these two Americans has been secured, adding, quote, "I'm overjoyed that they will soon be reunited with their family who has been racked with fear." And we see their photos. It is another thing to know this mother and daughter. I spoke to the rabbi about this. He says that both of them are incredibly kind. Judith in particular, the type of person who would help anyone. I asked him about their condition. He said no word at this point. I also asked him about a timeline when they might be coming home. He says also no word on that. But certainly this is good news for this family, the first news that they've heard in more than 2 weeks. Connell?
Exactly, and I think our viewers who've become familiar with Rabbi Meir Hecht over the last couple of weeks, been on the show a couple of times. I think we're probably happy to see him with some hope and, as you say, still some concern about their condition, but finally some hope and something to be thankful for. Natasha, thank you. Natasha Zuves live in Evanston, Illinois with the reaction.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.